We're live.
With another episode of Shut Up and Thrive.
We back. What's going on, ladies?
Grand Rising. Welcome, welcome. Winter's here.
Not yet. Slow down.
Winter's in New England, baby.
Not yet.
It's just inside the house. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go outside because it's warmer than inside already.
Seriously. But let's not rush winter. Let's enjoy the fall, the crisp air, the fall colors of the trees.
Yes, definitely.
Fall fashion.
The creativeness comes out.
A plug for our previous episode. Make sure you check it out.
That's right.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Shut Up and Thrive, the podcast that will inspire you to live your best life.
3 best friends who have been growing, motivating, and inspiring each other.
I'm Vanilla. I bring the fun.
And this is Claudia, the passionate one.
And your girl Nair, sprinkling in the creativity.
When you listen to Shut Up and Thrive, it will remind you of your chats with your own BFFs.
Join in every week as we discuss all the things that make you want to shut up and thrive.
So, are you ready?
Let's get into the conversation.
Ooh, ooh.
So, ladies, what are we talking about today? I'm curious. What's going on today? Are we scared to say it?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm so scared.
Are you scared?
So frightening.
Look at that fall, Halloween coming up, and we scared.
Jason's coming to get you.
Oh man, that takes me back when it was like every Friday the 13th or this time of time. It was like we came
Nightmare
together,
on Elm
like
Street.
sleeping over so we can binge watch
Scary movie.
Freddy Krueger and Jason. Friday the 13th.
Yes.
So I think today we're talking about fear, right? That's the topic.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, let's talk about fear since y'all scared to talk about it.
We're demonstrating
fear.
Ooh.
Fear. All letter word that means what? What does fear mean? To be scared of?
Okay, that is the verb.
Something?
So I looked up the definition, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The noun is, because fear is both a noun and a verb, the noun is an unpleasant emotion by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. The verb is to be afraid of someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful, or threatening. Okay, so
what's
dangerous? No, there's no difference. But I see a theme going on here. We've got dangerous, painful, or threatening, right?
Very heavy words.
Right, like, ooh, scary.
No wonder why it's fear.
Fear. Okay, so let's get into it. Y'all ready to thrive on fear?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm ready to see how we can thrive on fear. Do this.
So I have a couple of bullet points that we can explore. Let's explore. First of all, listening to that definition, where do you think fear comes from?
So something dangerous, painful, and experiences. Someone who's gone through these types of experiences, like either a dangerous one, a painful one, or have experienced somebody threatening to hurt them or whatever. So experiences, that's where fear thrives from.
So how about kids who don't have a lot of experiences? Do you think they have fear?
Nope.
Straight up.
I mean, if they haven't experienced danger, pain, or threat, then I guess they don't really know what fear or have experienced fear. Is fear like a personality trait, or is it something that you learn?
An emotion.
An emotion. So you pick it up.
So it's emotions are what? Like your body expressing something based on what your mind is telling it, right? I would think.
Sounds like it.
So how do we what's crazy to me is like, how do we determine that something is dangerous, like, or gonna be painful or threatening? Like, what makes us categorize that thing or that person as dangerous?
I don't think it's a thought. I don't think it's your mind that's telling you. It's your body. It's an emotion. So your body's the one that's reacting to whatever it's seeing or experiencing at the moment.
But how does your body know to have that feeling? That's what I mean.
I don't
Like
know.
It
where
would
does it
it would go back to, like I said, having experienced it before.
but for
For
okay,
example,
that would
a
come from
little
your
kid,
mind, your memory then.
yeah, which basically everything does, right? Comes from your brain, your mind. So you put your
You think
little
so?
kid, I think so, yeah, I think everything. A little kid sticks their finger on fire because they're not afraid. They never did it before, but then they get burned. So they've experienced that
Okay.
pain. So now next time they see that fire, I'm hoping they're afraid. I'm hoping that's enough for them to like learn or get fearful of what's going to happen to them.
But how about like being afraid of something you've never done before?
Okay. So it's not inherited, but is
Or
it
could
past
it be
traumas? Could it be?
past lives,
Past
in your
traumas. Yeah.
DNA?
Yeah. Why are some people like, oh my God, spiders? But probably never even really came close
Yeah, like you've
encounter to a
never
spider.
got bit by a spider, you never nothing, but yet you're scared of spiders. Is
So
it
what,
because
go
of
ahead.
what we're told?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Maybe it's just from like your brain capturing information, gathering information.
Okay. How about like fear of not necessarily like physical things, but like fear of heartbreak, fear of being embarrassed, I guess. I don't know, like fear of like feelings, right? Isn't that a thing?
Mhm.
Do you think those feelings physically hurt or like why are we afraid to be ashamed or embarrassed?
But is it afraid? Is it a real? Is that fear? Does that fall in the fear category?
I think so. Like I'm afraid to go on stage because people are gonna laugh at me. Isn't that a fear?
I know. I see fear like oh no, that's a fear, and then being oh I'm scared in
Well,
different categories, or like
really?
oh I'm nervous. So that could put somebody who's just nervous. I'm gonna say they're fearful of that because they're nervous, or anxious, or has someone who's anxiety. Is it fear?
That's a good question.
I'm asking.
I don't know. That's our BFF.
Lord, we don't know this.
Well,
I don't know. I
so
think fear is definitely something that is hard to describe because everyone's different. Every fear is different. So like my fear is it could be of the same thing, but it's completely different from yours. Like my experience of that fear is different from someone else's.
the
So
level of fear.
yeah, the level, the perception, because for me, fear is a perception of something that's not going to work your way. It's not going to benefit you in the best outcome that you would want. So you're afraid of it, and there are fear that, like I've grown. Fear, I have a fear of rats. It's my the little feet, all that. Like that's just, I can see it now and be like okay with it. Like okay, I worked towards that fear, but like before, it was like I seen the sight of one, I was just out. Like there was no catching me. There was no mercy. Like there was no cars. There was nothing that was stopping me from running towards that way.
So what were you running away from?
So I think like the reaction
The
that you
animal.
have is different. I think like you like our fear causes us to have different reaction. Like you were
Yeah.
saying, we could be afraid of the same thing, but like maybe your fear caused you to run, but my fear will cause me to freeze, right? Because it's like
Right.
fight or flight. So your body's gonna react different, even though we might be
Looking at the same thing
afraid.
that we're
Yeah,
afraid of.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Fear
It's
is
interesting.
definitely connected to our intuitions, our body, our inner
Our
self.
emotions, yeah.
Yeah.
But I did look up is anxiety fear. It says fear is an emotional reaction to a specific danger, while anxiety is an excessive and unforced fear that may be triggered by a variety of stimuli. Anxiety caused by stress may persist long after the trigger is removed or arise with no trigger at all. So I think they're kind of different because anxiety will pop up even if that thing you're afraid of is not physically there or you're not, you know what I mean? It just comes out of nowhere in a sense, but they are related, you know what I mean? Because it is kind of like a reaction of fear. It's more like prolonged fear.
Yeah, I mean, I also see people who might fall into that anxious state because of being afraid, because of
Yes.
fear, right? For example, so being nervous of going on stage or to present a project, like someone's going to go on stage, but that anxiety builds and builds and builds because they are afraid of people looking at them or
Whatever their fear is.
yeah.
So yes, the anxiety is like a aftermath of so much fear for so long.
Hmm.
Or is it intense, so intense that it causes that too? Like, it's like you said, there could be levels to it. Like, yeah, I might have a fear of, let's say, public speaking, but it might just be a mild fear that even though I have that fear, I can go on stage where someone else, it's crippling. Like it really just paralyzes them.
So I guess fear can be pinpointed. For example, we can say, yeah, she's afraid of people looking at her. But who's really afraid of people looking at you?
People are.
I don't think you have fear of people looking at you because fear has to cause you either pain or hurt, and that's not
It's
causing
an
you.
emotional state, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
but
when it becomes fear, isn't it like something dangerous,
I,
painful, or threatening? So like,
yeah,
how do you put fear into just having that anxiety?
I
Like,
think it's fear, like you have a fear of what they're thinking of you. I don't think it's really people looking at you. I think it's more like because they're looking at me, I don't know what's going on in their mind. Fear of the unknown, right? You don't know what they're thinking, and they could be thinking that I'm a bad person or this and that. I think it's the fear of their
of what the
thought.
outcome might be of the
Yeah, like
whole the
how they're gonna
ending.
think of you, like
Yeah,
what they think of you, like
at
some.
the end, or while you're doing whatever you're doing, or at the end. So I do see it as okay, scared and nervous and anxious, but again, you know me, I'm gonna separate fear just being something that's actually you believing that it's gonna cause you like pain, it's gonna cause you suffering.
Yeah.
And
So
then you say
there
she's afraid of public speaking. No, she's just
yeah.
nervous of public speaking, you know?
But it could still be a fear. So there is a fear of everything, phobia, right? Phobia of everything. And I
Phobias.
just looked up fear of people, and there is a phobia for that. Anthropophobia. And it says it's not the same as social anxiety disorder. That's different, right? Instead of fearing social situations, which I think is what I was describing, people
Mhm.
with anthropophobia specifically fear people. Like, just like you would be scared of, let's say, a lion, you
Yeah.
would be scared of people, which is
Wow.
insane, right?
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Imagine how that develops because, like, part of the human experience is connection and, like, how did you grow up? You had to
I
be
mean, maybe grew up people just
being
being
bad to you.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Seeing people doing wrong, seeing people doing mean and being, growing up believing that like the more people, the more problems. Right?
Yeah, you'd have to think that people are unhinged, like they can't control themselves. Just like me, like I'm scared of like I would say scared, like just like normal fears, right? Like I'm scared of seeing a bear in front of my face because I don't know how that bear is gonna react. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's just gonna jump and attack me. That's why I have that quote unquote fear.
You're not afraid of bears because you would if they're in a perfect distance and you keep like, oh, so cute, take a picture
Right.
or take a selfie or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm scared of me and the bear standing right next to me. So I feel like if imagine having that same feeling being around people, like it's insane.
Yeah. But hey, we're all animals. If you're scared of being around lions, why not be scared of being around people? That's it makes sense. It
No,
makes
it
doesn't make
makes
sense.
sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time.
I mean, put you right now inside a prison with the worst
Mhm.
criminals ever. Are you afraid of those people? Yeah, you are because you know
Because
that
of
it's
the knowledge.
harmful. Yeah. So I think it, can go all the way down to it's a perception of things, it's your knowledge of things. And then obviously your experiences, your emotions, if you've suffered and had to endure things that caused that fear to be real. But just being thrown in a big room with mad, ugly, nasty people, yeah, I'm afraid. I have a fear of that. Please don't do that, So
Okay, let's do this. What's a little? I'm gonna call it silly fear. We'll start off light. Like something like that, people will be like, "Oh, that's a silly thing to be afraid of."
I know one.
What?
Claudia. Come on, Claudia. What's your silly fear?
What?
The rats that she just said?
No.
I don't know.
The clown.
Oh yeah.
Oh, ew.
Yes, she's scared of clouds.
So
I hate those
tell us a little
things.
bit about that silly fear of yours.
Yeah.
Well, it was after I watched the movie It.
It?
Yeah.
Did I want to watch that movie?
You ever
No,
watched
because
the
you would have been
movie
afraid of clowns too. Then. I don't think I've seen it either. And I'm
No,
not going to.
it's more than that. It's just
Okay.
I don't like people who wear certain costumes, and the clown just reminds me that you can be mad funny, but you're scary underneath there or something. So I'm like, nah. I don't know.
Is it like
it is a silly fear, but it's just like it's me looking at you like you're weird for wearing that shit. And then it didn't really help it either. So yeah, it is a
I'm
silly.
curious about it.
You better go watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is quote unquote silly fear because technically clowns are made to during like
make you laugh.
celebrations make you laugh. So the fact that you look at them like I think they're weird too, right? But maybe because I didn't watch it, I don't have that fear.
Don't get that fear. It's not that serious.
Yeah, it's not that serious, but I mean, a lot of people have it. You're not the only one.
I'm not the
Oh,
only
yeah.
one that don't like clowns.
No.
Yeah. What's yours, V?
Next.
The silly fear.
She's fearless.
Yeah, she's not afraid of nothing.
No, I'm afraid. No, I'll fear maybe of like the unknown. You know, for example, let's say.
That's not silly. That's
Oh,
real.
silly.
Come on, sounds silly.
That's
Oh,
a real
silly
girl. We're not
fear.
there yet. We're not there yet.
Silly fear. No. I have to think on that. Silly
I
fear.
think I have one. Like, I mean, is it silly? I have a fear of the chiropractor.
You're gonna break your bone.
Yes, like when I hear people like crack their necks, I'm
Yeah.
always like, I was like, ah.
Like that doesn't sound normal.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like they're literally gonna crack me in half.
Oh,
What are they cracking? They're not cracking your bones. They're cracking what? Where your bones are.
I think they're
joining?
aligning your joints. Yeah.
So they are
Hell
cracking your
no.
bones.
And I know I need to go really bad.
Yeah,
I
the
really want to
alignment.
go.
I just have that fear. And maybe it's not silly. Maybe it's deeper than that because it could probably benefit me. But I'm so scared of that. I cannot hear like that noise. And I don't know how people do it. They just be like,
Yeah, no, my son comes up to me after I had
nonchalant.
watched it. He was like, "Ma, look at this." I was like, "Don't do it." And I'm like, "Don't." I mean, when he cracks his knuckles, I'm like, "Ew, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that." But he's like, "What you
Yeah.
mean? Just throwing the bubbles out, or the air out of my knuckles or something." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel you. That pain sounds fearful, like you broke something." Mhm. I'm afraid to go to the salon and sit there for 8 hours.
I think we're all afraid of that.
I am afraid of that. Like, I dread it. I'm like, but you're really gonna go? You're gonna have to sit there for so long. But that's my silly fear.
That's not really fear.
It's a silly fear.
That's not fear. You don't
Okay.
doesn't have one.
I have a silly fear. Well, no, swimming. Of getting tired and not being able to swim anymore.
Yeah, let's get into like deeper fears.
I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah. What, you think you're gonna fall?
Remember, I used to have dreams that I always fall from a mountain,
Mhm.
free falling. Like it never ends. Like,
And you want to get a tattoo of a mountain. Oh, I guess that's overcoming your fear.
That's
There's
facing
a reason.
fear.
There's a reason why I'm afraid of mountains, and I'm passionate for mountains. So like, it's an inner journey.
I was gonna say, but you love mountains.
I know, I do. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Love
You're
afraid
just
of heights.
afraid of height. It's alright to climb a
Yeah.
mountain if you're not
The
like.
mountains there, yeah, but it's always a mountain that I fall off on my dreams
That's
back in the days.
interesting.
Yeah.
But that dream stopped.
I haven't had it lately, no.
She hasn't
I
dreamt.
think it's
Remember,
because
she
I've been
hasn't
doing a
dreamed.
lot more like
Work.
and then we've been doing more hiking, things like that. So it's allowed me to go higher and higher in my hikings and not feel like I'm gonna fall. So yeah, so it's been
It's
therapeutic.
because you've been facing your fears. That's the only way to get over it, right? I think. Hopefully you can. with practice and facing it, you'll be able to get over some fears.
Okay.
So Claudia told us her fears. What's your fear, Vanilla? You were getting into it, but
So
Well,
yeah,
the
I'm
things
very
that you're
afraid.
afraid of.
My fear is that when we sit here to record, it takes us like 2 hours
I know
because internet's not cooperating.
you have a fear of time, sitting at the salon, taking too long
Yeah,
to
Girl,
record.
you might
true.
be getting onto something for real. Time.
She's
Fear of
wasting
time.
time, losing time, like all of that.
That's for real. I think about that a lot now. I'm always like, there's not enough time. Like, I don't have enough time. I need 48 hours in a day. Like, I need time. Okay, y'all may be getting onto something.
But no, you were saying you have a fear of the unknown.
Do I have a yeah, just for example, like my example with the whole swimming, right? I'm happy. I don't have the fear to jump in, but if you say like, "Are you afraid?" I'm like a little because what happens if when I go down there, I can't make it up, like fast enough, or I hit the wrong way and I hurt myself. So that kind of fear, I'm thinking. But I'm not afraid to jump. I'm not afraid to try new things. I think
You
I
have
overthink. Maybe it's because I overthink. So I'm trying to classify it as a fear of the unknown because I overthink of what the end outcome might be. And then some people who have no fear, I think they don't even think of the end outcome. They're just like, whatever happens, happens. So they have like no fear. And then I might have a little bit because I think so much of, well, no, but what might happen? Like running into fire
what?
to save someone. Like some people have no fear of like running
doing
into
that.
thing.
But maybe they do have a fear, but they don't let that stop them.
Yeah, but so is it a fear? Because I'm like I said, fear is fear. Being scared is being scared. Nervous is nervous. But like if I'm afraid of fire, I'm not running into it.
But fear is
So
to be afraid of. The verb is to be afraid of something that could be dangerous, painful, or threatening.
But like you guys said, the best way to overcome fear is to actually
Face it.
be in the fear, like face it. So if fire is your fear, the only way to get out of fear with the fire is being in the fire.
Well, I don't think people
in a
who
safe, precautious way.
yeah,
Like if you're
but
a firefighter, you've learned that,
or do you think firefighters are even afraid of fire? They're probably not.
I think they are.
There's dangerous things. Well, dangerous again could be how you look at something because fire is beneficial. You know what I mean? Like if we use fire fire cooks our food, fire keeps us warm. You know what I mean? So fire is beneficial. So, but it can also be dangerous, which a lot of things are like that. But as a firefighter, do you have a fear of fire? Probably not. You probably have a fear of burning and you know what I mean? Like being hurt. I'm sure everybody has that fear, but it's not like I just see fire and I turn and run away.
that's a
Right.
fear.
That's a
But
fear, right?
if you see fire and you're like, I'm gonna
Go
go
into
in, I
rescue
can,
someone.
then I don't think it's a fear.
Right, I agree, yeah.
But then
So-
there's people who like they constantly check their fire detectors and like the stove because they really have a fear of things catching on fire or like a fire starting.
Mhm.
So
you still and I clarifying your fear. Is it fear of what? Do you even have any fears?
what
Fear
can somebody? I mean, fear, dangerous. Yeah, what's dangerous that I would not try because I'm so afraid?
If you don't know it, then you don't have any fears.
Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stick my hand inside a box. Oh, there's snakes in there. Stick your hand
But
in
that's
there.
not fear,
That's
though.
not
That's
fear.
like
I
that's
mean,
not
I said
unknown.
Fear
Like
of
so, you
getting
don't know
bit.
what's gonna
No,
happen
I
with
said
that
if.
outcome.
So I'm no. Then I'm afraid. Yes, because I'm not. If you tell me it's full of snakes, stick your hand in there to like save your life, and I probably to save my life, I probably will stick my hand in there. But like to win $1 million, you might get bit or not. Then I'm not doing it because I'm very fearful of the danger that is.
but I don't think it's a fear because I just looked up fear of the unknown and it says the psychological term for fear of the unknown is xenophobia. In modern usage, the word has evolved to mean the fear of strangers or foreigners, but its original meaning is much broader. It includes anything or anyone that's unfamiliar or unknown. Like, I feel like anybody who has a fear of the unknown would literally be crippled, like inside their home, would not go out because, okay, if I cross the street, I get hit by a car. Like to say you have the fear of the unknown, that's a big claim because you know what I mean? Like everything is unknown.
Yeah, and just like us here trying to understand fear, or classify it in the right terms. But okay,
I
so I'm
think
not
we're
afraid of
fearless.
the unknown. Yeah. I was gonna say what, and then how does that whole? Oh, she's fierce. Fierce. Is that
Ooh, play on words.
is that the opposite of fear when you're fierce, or is that probably just a definition of its own?
It's a pop culture.
Ooh, fierce. Having or displaying an intense or ferocious aggressiveness. Yeah, that's probably the opposite of fear. What is the opposite of fear?
Opposite of fear, wouldn't it be courage?
Ooh, calmness and confident.
Confidence. Okay, confidence is nice. Courage, confidence. What was the other one? Wholeness?
Calmness, calm.
Calmness. Okay.
I think confidence is what helps us overcome fear.
Yeah.
Going back to another episode of ours,
Which one?
confidence.
Oh, confidence. Sorry. So cute. Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, I was thinking like, what am I afraid of?
All right. So, what are you afraid of dying?
I'm not afraid of dying,
Why not?
because I know it's part of life. It's part of the human experience. It's something we all have to do. We all have to die.
I hate
I'm
to
a
know.
Yeah, so I'm not afraid of the act of dying. I just don't
It's a
want to feel
next now. We're gonna die.
I just don't want to feel pain, I guess. Not that I'm afraid of pain. I mean, I birthed 3 children. Like I can handle pain.
Oh, I'm afraid of pain. Yeah, I'm afraid of pain, ladies. I am.
Why?
Because it hurts like a it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm afraid to feel pain.
I know it hurts, but I know it's temporary. Like that's what I've told
I think that you're afraid of the prolonging pain. So if dying in pain, and you know that once your soul leaves your body, you were in pain. So
Yeah.
I think that's the fear of pain, dying
Yeah.
in pain.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
a lot of
want to
people have that.
I always say I want to
So
die
you don't have a
Peacefully.
fear of dying, but you are afraid to die painfully.
In pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Like I don't want to torture death.
Yeah,
Correct.
I don't want to drown. Well, I'm afraid
Yeah.
of drowning too. So
Yeah. I mean, but those are like those are fears like like no one wants to drown, no
yeah,
one wants to be put on
burn in
fire.
fire. Exactly.
Like no one wants limbs cut off. Like that's the kind of pain I don't want. Like, oh, I have cramps or I have a headache. You know what I mean? Like even though I don't want to feel those feelings, I know that it's not forever. So I deal with it. But you're saying like you are like, nope, I don't want pain. I don't want pain.
I don't want pain at all. And then I think of, for example, someone who's capable of doing those gruesome things you just said, like someone who's able to do that. Do they have no fear of it when it comes to themselves? They must not. Remember, you just said no one wants pain, no one wants limbs
Yeah.
cut off. But if you are able to commit that act, that means you don't have a fear of
That being committed to you.
I'm assuming.
I don't know. Honestly, people who I don't know. People who would do those things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't. Maybe fear is not an emotion everybody has. Some people are
You
not
have to be
afraid of danger.
disconnected.
Some people are not afraid of danger.
Oh yeah,
Some
you
people are
see
not
them
afraid
like
of pain.
stunt people who do like stunts and stuff for movies, people who bungee jump,
Or swim with weird animals.
sharks.
Weird animals. That's mean. But yeah, I don't know. Crazy.
That's interesting though. Someone like that just does things despite fear.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever overcome any fears?
Fear of the dark. When you're a little kid, you're like, oh my
That's
God,
real,
it's
though.
dark in there. I'm not going. So
That's real.
I remember loving the dark. Like, oh, I'm not gonna turn any of the lights on. But I
As
remember
a kid?
as a kid, I remember like going from I'm turning all the lights on, then I'm going back and turning it off one at a time until I get to my room. After we binge watch those scary movies, that's what I did. But then I remember just taking a shower in the dark and have everything in the
Got a shower in the dark.
like, not that I can't see, obviously, even if maybe there's a candle light, but not being afraid of the dark at a young age. I remember like overcoming that, being afraid of the dark to not being afraid of the dark.
What do you
Not you,
remember?
girl? Not you, ladies?
Yeah, I was afraid of the dark as a kid. I think that's a
I
common
think you
fear.
grow out of it.
Yeah. Do you remember growing out of it though? Like I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember growing out of it. I'm probably still a little bit afraid of the dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still moments that you're like,
I need a night
did
light.
I feel that moment? Then you're like, nah.
I'm afraid when I hear strange noises.
Yes, I hate
You
those.
are. What
Yeah,
kind of strange noises?
like you know how sometimes the wind, like it's dark, you're in bed, everybody's sleeping, but like there'll be like the wind might blow and it might like cause some noise in your house, and I'm just like, is there somebody breaking in?
So unknown, not knowing what shit is.
Regular
Not,
normally
it's
days.
unknown, but it's me. Like I'm assigning my fears, giving it like I'm literally my mind goes to it's a burglar. What is the word?
Burglar.
Burglar.
Ladies, breathe.
Burger.
Burglar. What is the word?
Can't.
A burglar.
Why is that such a weird word?
Because we're thinking about it too much now. Because you try to
Burglar.
say burglary and you couldn't.
Burglar.
Burglary or a burglar. It's a burglar.
You guys are funny.
Burglar. A burglar.
No. Yeah, burglar.
Yeah, now you're a burglar.
It's
Ooh,
okay.
Go to
Yeah.
Diane's house. She
Yeah.
can call you.
No.
She's afraid of something she can't even say the word.
No, I'm serious though. Cause I'm a light sleeper, so you know, like the wind might bang and then or you hear like the heater might crack or something, you know? But I'm literally like,
What was that?
what was that? What was that?
But are
And
you
then
afraid that you wave like, hey, I heard a noise?
no,
Wake up.
I won't go that far.
Oh, okay.
I won't go that far, but I'll stay quiet to see if I hear that noise again.
And I will get up and go check. Like
You
I'm the
will?
other way. I get up and check. I
don't,
can't go back to sleep
Hmm.
until I know exactly what it is.
No,
So I get up, I go
That's
check.
fearless. That's
that
fearless
is
right there.
fearless.
I
That
like
is.
stupid thing on the window hitting my window. I get so mad I go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I won't get up. I won't get up. But
She probably won't go back to sleep either. Just be like,
no, I'll go back to sleep. No, I'll listen to see if I hear that sound again. And usually I don't, because again, it's just like, you know, the houses make noise. That's
Yeah.
normal, you know? But to me, I'm like, and then I will have a dream that like someone is breaking in. Seriously.
yeah, that's
Should have just
fear.
got up and went to go check, and then you would have had a dream that you were like, yay, happy.
Or even like sometimes when in the middle of the night, when I take Ziggy out, I don't take him out, but I let him out because he wants to go out in the middle of the night. I'll be like looking around as I'm going down the stairs, making sure no one's around the corner.
Okay, it's your own house, woman.
I know, but you never know. Like you never know. But yeah, that's is that a silly fear? Or is that like a real fear?
No, I think it's not,
Depends on your
and it's
house.
common,
Yeah.
right? With same thing with the fire detectors. Some people will put cameras. Like, nope, I need to make sure if anything happens in my backyard when I'm sleeping, I want to know. You know.
Yeah.
So they set cameras and all that good stuff.
I mean, we have cameras, but I'm still like
Is it for your fears or is it for safety?
safety, obviously. Yeah, it's not like crazy fear, but
Yeah.
I guess that's a fear that I'm constantly overcoming.
Yeah, I guess
Maybe your Halloween costume can be robber. You can dress like a robber for Halloween.
Not a burglar.
A burglar. That word came out nice. I said robber, right?
Yeah. Same thing, right? But yeah, what were we saying?
Talking about fear.
Well, you've overcome though. Have you overcome
Overcoming
anything?
fears?
We would talk about overcoming fear of the dark, but that's like a kid. But as an adult, what's something that you can think of that you were like, wow, I never thought I'd be doing this? Like if me 10, 20 years ago wouldn't be doing this. Like for me, I could say I think I had like a slight fear of public speaking. And I think a lot of people have this, but like now I don't care. Like
you work through it, yeah.
I work through it because I'm like, what the heck? First of all, they're probably not even paying attention to what I'm saying.
And so is that how you work through your fears? You write down like what's really not happening?
That's interesting.
Like they don't really care. They're not really listening. I did my research. I know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, I think I've over the years like convinced myself like I prepare myself, right? So I'm prepared, so I know what I'm talking about. So what are you scared of? You know what you're talking about. And the idea of like people don't really care about you. You know what I mean? Like they're not losing sleep because of a presentation you gave. You know what I mean? Like no one's in bed thinking about that presentation I gave. You know what I mean? And that's like something I'm trying to help through right now is nobody cares about you. Like nobody really, at the end of the day, everyone has their own issues and problems. So what are you really scared of?
Yeah.
And there's a statistic out there that like more people are scared of public speaking than dying.
Okay, cool.
So that's a big fear. Mine, I don't think it was like crippling, but it was, like a slight fear, like, oh my God, I'm nervous. Like, you know what I mean? And what like really made me change I remember in college in one of the classes, we had to do a presentation. It was a group of us. There was like 4 of us. And we prepared, everybody had their own parts. Then we get up in front of the class and it comes time for one of the girls to do her part and she literally froze. She was like sweating. She was frozen. And I literally looked at her and I could tell she was like crippled.
Yeah.
And I just
I've
did her
frozen. I've frozen, like not public speaking, but I have frozen during an exam. Like I studied, but when I sat
Your
there,
mind went blank.
yeah, I don't know what I was afraid of, if that was even fear, but couldn't even attempt to answer anything. So I don't know.
So yeah, so remember, our reaction as humans is fight or flight. Fight, flight, or freeze, right? So you froze. Wow. But yeah, like I remember that time. Like I felt
I
so
didn't
bad.
panic or anything. I don't think I panicked. I just.
What did you do? Did you eventually?
Nothing. I literally eventually was like, at the end, was like, I didn't do anything. Can I have office hours to take my test like before I left?
Wow.
Like it's not happening today.
Was it like you just sat there for like an hour of the class, literally not able?
Yeah, I think as soon as I saw other people handing it in, I was like, okay, so that was enough time. Maybe after the first person, I went up to the teacher. I was like, this is not happening. I need to schedule office hours.
But do you remember what you were doing in those moments? Like, were you reading the questions or were you just staring?
It was an accounting exam. No, I read. I don't know if I probably read the first one and then was like, I can't do this. Like blocked out.
Wow.
But I know something has to trigger that. I don't know what it was. Overthinking, studying too much and feeling like I didn't study enough. So no, I need to study more maybe. Like I need 20 more minutes. Have you ever had those days like, oh my God, the exam, and you're like, no. And it's not going to do you any good, but you're like, I need this 20 minutes to like go over my notes.
Yeah.
And I probably worked myself so much that it stimulated whatever. What's the gland that gets stimulated when you become fearful?
Is it adrenal? Is it adrenaline that runs through you?
Your amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain that where fear starts, I guess.
Yeah. So it triggers a particular hormone that causes.
But usually it says a threat has to stimulate that. So what was the threat of me? Oh, I could fail. That's the threat.
That's the threat. Yeah.
That's the biggest threat. Failing.
It's failing. Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
That's interesting. Claudia, any fears you've overcome? Well, you kind of told us a little bit, the fear of heights. You're kind of working through that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, things that may be fear, I'm that type of person that if it's causing me fear, I want to know why. So the knowing why and then figuring out how to overcome it is
helpful.
Fear stops you. So if you have fear of something, why is it stopping you? Why are you allowing that thing to stop you when we are limitless? We can do whatever the hell we want. It's up to us, right? So I've always been like that. So I do have fear, things that comes to my mind, and I get scared, and I'm like, oh God, I really have to. And then this is me talking myself out of it. Like, why are you scared? Like Naia would say, they don't even care what you're saying. You're the only one who cared because you did the work. So you want to say it out loud, so being in a room with people who are more powerful than you, and you feeling small. Why do you feel small? You're as big as them. They just know a little bit more. So go learn from that person because they know a little bit more. So it's all in my mind, I guess. It's how to overcome the fears. But I do have fears. There's so many. It's not fear, I think. I think it's just the uncomfortness of your, like that confidence, lacking your own in an area that you're unfamiliar with. When you familiarize with that area, you're most likely going to prolong that uncomfortness. You're going to be making you feel uncomfortable. So I remember all of that. Sleep light, in the dark. I still feel it. Dude, I go in my basement at night and like a little something would be like, oh, there's something's coming after you. And I'd be like, shut up.
It's a clown.
Right?
And a rat, holding a rat.
Yeah.
Exactly, yo. Rats are everywhere. Like you see them dead it's so you continue to work on that thing to be like, no, it's not real. Stop it.
Yeah.
I think we're just fearless women. No, but it's true though. Like, I think it's growth, like wisdom over time. Like, who I am today is not who I was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, you just, over time, you just become more comfortable with who you are. And if you're doing the work, you know what I mean? You have to really be doing the work and identifying why you're afraid of something. And like you said, like, not convincing yourself, but talking through it and like whatever your process is.
Right.
To get over it. And I think the stuff that we're talking about is not like crippling fear that it stops us from living our lives. It's things that people deal with every day because we don't know what can happen. And we hear stories, we see things, we know things happen in the world. So of course, those are things to be cautious of, not necessarily fearful of,
Right.
Definitely.
But yeah. Very, very good, ladies. Anything else you want to add to the combo?
Do you have a silly fear?
I said it. It's the going to chiropractor.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one that doesn't have one.
Right.
Because she's fearless. Yes, queen.
No, I have a silly fear. Very silly one. Of people being unfaithful or unloyal to me.
That's not silly, yo. You're
No.
everything.
Yeah, right? Because she thinks it's silly, it's real. Like that's a real fear because that's a real
but it's
thing.
okay. I guess it's.
I
think
can alter your life completely.
Yeah, but like there's when fear is when your motor skills are like at a halt, right? Like
it stops you from living your life normally.
But
or completing.
I'm gonna have a silly fear of like, okay, especially growing up, the fear of just thought that my boyfriend would cheat on me. That just like bubbled something up. Yeah, so I was afraid of that, but it was not really fear, I guess. Because it didn't stop my motor skills. It didn't stop me from
dating and all that.
Dating and crying and living, but
Got up, you ate, you showered.
Did you ever think of why though?
Abandonment. I know how that triggers that part of me that's like
feels abandonment.
Yeah,
but is it abandonment though? Like, let's just talk about that for a second. Like, just because your significant other cheats on you, are they abandoning you, or they
No, I'm saying like, what does it? I think you asked me like, why do you think you're afraid of that? I think it triggers me, the abandonment. For example, I remember being young when my parents separated. There was a point in my life where I felt like did my father abandon us? So it's like, so I was afraid of being abandoned because of that, of ever being abandoned because of that. So that lingers and triggers through my relationship. When I started getting to my relationship, it's like, for people to separate, somebody's got to do something wrong, right? So I was afraid of people unfaithfulness or unloyal, because I knew that meant like, we're gonna separate. So that means you abandon me.
You automatically, once that cheating happens, you're thinking he's gone, he's abandoning me, or it just results in abandonment.
It needs to be abandoned. Yeah, like we have to abandon a relationship. That's the right thing to do. That's not what I do or did, but like having to deal with abandonment.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's silly.
Oh.
Well, again, like
I want to have a silly fear. Oh, no, that's not fearful. Like, look. I remember too, like looking at pictures of scorpions.
Hey,
and I was
leave
like,
scorpions alone, okay?
No, scorpion, the animal. I would cringe. I would I would never want to see the one in front of me. No, never. Because I feel like they would run behind me, attack me until they stung me. So yeah, that was a silly fear growing up.
Scorpions are very scary looking because it's
Yeah.
like
And deadly.
oh yeah,
Mm.
it's that tail for me. It's
Yeah,
like a
like
You'll get
spider
you.
with a tail. Like what is this thing?
no, I feel like those animals have a brain, and they're like the predators. They come in, like they won't stop chasing me. I'm afraid of that.
Still, have you ever seen one in real life?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little
Oh, have I
ones,
seen one?
different places, little ones. I don't know if it's carnivals or like stores or even museums. Not museums,
Like a
zoos.
real one? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know how they have those big dry aquariums. They have the snakes. There's some with Scorpios, white Scorpios, black Scorpios.
Scorpion.
Scorpion, the animal, not Scorpios, the people. With the sign.
Scorpios get a bad rep.
Well, they should.
Why?
Because the animal represented them as scary as shit.
Yeah, but they're so mysterious, majestic, deep, loyal, loving.
Oh, they're loyal.
They are loyal.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't know
stop
how.
hating on my moon.
I don't know how loyal. Oh, is that your moon? No,
That's why I said leave us
No,
Scorpios alone.
I don't know how loyal the real animal would be, though. The scorpion would be.
But they have to be loyal to something.
Yeah.
Everyone,
That spiked
everything
up tequila. I've seen scorpions inside
of it.
tequila bottles and liquor bottles. But would I try one if it's fried? I would. I would. I would try
Have you
anything.
ever tried bugs? Eating bugs?
Not yet.
She said not yet. That's on the bucket list.
Yeah, to go to Asia and try some
fried crickets.
Yeah, or whatever else they fry. Maybe not a rat. That's gross.
Ew, no.
Ew.
A rat's not a bug.
Oh, but it's an animal that people have tried and will
You can't
try.
eat rats.
Yes, you can.
Don't they carry so much disease and stuff?
Not if you raise them and feed them what you want to feed
Girl,
them.
let's not talk about that. You know, Claudia's got a fear now. It's kind of passing
She
on
ran
to
away.
me, like,
Claudia's gone.
and it's now passing on to me.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's places where they eat rats. They do.
Oh, well, maybe y'all let us know. Help us thrive.
What are the 7 fears?
There's a million fears. That's the thing. But what
according to SUaT's study, the fear archetypes include the procrastinator, the rule follower, the people pleaser, the outcast, the self-doubter, the excuse maker, and the pessimist.
Which one are you?
This is so deep that we promise to come back with this topic because now there's 7 types of, archetypes.
That's more like success in life, I think. That speaks
Yeah.
to you as a person and what is holding you back from being successful.
Yeah.
I know which one I am.
I mean, that's what fear does. It holds you back from
Yeah.
lots of things. So you remember what they were?
Well, I know some of them, but
Okay.
the one I am is I'm the procrastinator.
I am a procrastinator, but am I afraid of procrastinating? I don't know.
No, it's not afraid. Like that's what you do. Like that's how your fear manifests, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do because of your fear. You make excuses. You just
The
are the pessimist.
procrastinators often obsess over the end product or outcome or whatever they're doing and insist on it being perfect. I see ya, mama.
Yeah.
So another one was the rule follower, Claudia. The rule follower.
You think so?
The people pleaser.
She's a people pleaser.
Claudia, you think she is?
Yes.
Yeah. So having boundaries often sounds scary to someone who is used to putting others first.
She said it multiple episodes. We got her on tape.
The outcast.
Is that you?
I'm trying to figure out understand what that is.
You
Just advise
isolate, right?
outcast. Take the time to ask yourself if you are focusing on the worst case scenario. Oh no, it's not me. Self-doubter. Yeah, I have a little bit of that. Those who self-doubt tend to feel insecure about their capabilities. Oh yeah. Not that I'm insecure. I'm just not thriving on all of them. I don't think I'm insecure. It's just procrastinating and thriving with them.
So are you obsessing over the end result? Because I'm not obsessing, but like, no. So what's the other ones? Read on.
The excuse maker.
Do you make a lot of excuses?
No.
We'll read
my
what's.
shits are not excuse. They're points. I mean, when it's
Oh,
not excuse, they're
I
points.
got a little bit of that
I
in
got
there.
points, but excuses are like, oh, I didn't do that because of this. I guess, right? There's a great
Mhm.
pride in accomplishing something that you set out to do, she says. So the excuse maker, they allow others to make decisions in their own lives. Oh. The excuse maker allows others to make decisions in their own life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You think that's you?
No.
Okay.
And then the last one was the pessimist,
She's none of them.
which is usually due to past of current trauma or difficulties. Those who are the pessimist archetypes often feel victimized, and
Yeah.
sometimes rightly so.
Yeah, those are people that are like, oh, that'll never happen to me, or that idea is crazy. You know what I mean? Automatically assigned.
Yeah, I picked one C. I said self-doubter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, she didn't pick any.
So I'm a procrastinator, you're a self-doubter, and and Claudia's a people pleaser. Does it tell you how to work on
Figure
it?
it out. I'll figure it out and I'll send a link. And if so, we'll attach
Is it an
to this.
article, a quiz? What is it?
It's an article. But hopefully there's a quiz attached to it, right? Because we love that.
Yeah, but I could already know. I already know
No.
which one I am. So I want to know, like, what can I do? I mean, yeah, I know there are things I can do to not procrastinate. And sometimes I feel too like I work, and maybe this is something all procrastinators say. I work best under pressure.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
all
Like
procrastinators
when
do
you're up
that.
against the deadline,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Do
if
my
it's
best work.
like I do my best work. I wouldn't say I do my best work, but not that I have a fear, again, going back to fear of like missing a deadline or not meeting expectations. It's just I don't want to be in that position. So even though I procrastinate, I'll work through the night. Like I'll do what I need to do to meet that deadline and get the work done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people will freeze under pressure and be like, I can't do this. This is due tomorrow. I can't do it. And others like,
Right.
oh boy, this is due tomorrow. So I'm staying up
Yeah.
all night and getting this done.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, share that link because want to know. The people want to know.
Yeah, people want to read up on that, which is cool. So yes, feel free to share with us your fears if you have any, or
Tips
your
on
understanding of what fear is. We love hearing from you and we appreciate your questions. And I'm so afraid when people come into my podcast. I'm just kidding.
They just pop up in the background.
Yeah.
That's fear for you.
So what's your takeaways? My takeaway is we're fearless. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I feel like fear is a real thing, and let's acknowledge that it exists and don't let it take over our lives, face our fears, and understand that, we don't have to let fear hold us back from doing the things we want to do.
Mhm.
Live your life.
That's right. Live in awareness of things that's happening to your body. Again, it's could be a trigger, could be anything that's causing your body to act a certain way. But when a fear comes along, I think it's best if we figure out where is it coming from, and then do that work, and move on forward, and you'll be fearless. But
Be
yeah,
fierce.
no, fearless. But it doesn't go away. It's just the more you know about it and understand it, you're able to move on forward into something else. Because you're always going to come with something. That's fear. Fears doesn't go away, but it does definitely cripple your life if you allow it to take over. There are great counselors out there. There are great things to do to help with fear, even if it's minor. Definitely seek help.
No doubt. Yeah, and remember, fear, if it's an emotion or a quality that we all have, just remember that we all to also possess courage, right? So tap into your courage personality or quality, and that will help you work out through whatever fear you might be experiencing or fears. It's that inner work, baby. That's the thriving takeaway. It's that inner work when it comes to anything.
Yes. Let's thrive together. All right, let's tell the people where they can find us.
I think that's your favorite line.
Yeah. Because y'all do it better than me, so.
No, where people need to go find us is on social media and everywhere that you listen to your favorite episodes, podcast episodes. I personally love Spotify. That's where I listen to my podcast episodes. And I know most of you love your Apple Podcasts, but you can definitely find us on all the different streaming platforms. And we do appreciate that like and follow as well on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, YouTube's fun.
YouTube, you get to see our faces.
Yes. Hi, YouTubers. We love you. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I hope that we've helped you thrive and that you'll come back and listen to our craziness again. Let's talk to you soon. Whoop, whoop. Peace.
So.